Welcome, everyone. This is 3R Yoga, Yoga for Recovery, Resilience, and Realization. My name is Brian, and I'm delighted and honored to be here with you tonight. We are going to do a simple movement practice here and then a meditation tonight. So tonight's practice is going to be a few minutes of breath work to bring ourselves active and then present. And then some simple movements just to kind of prepare ourselves for our meditation. And then we're going to do about a 20-minute meditation. So it's going to be about a 40-minute class, so all told. Please ensure that you have supports. So blocks, straps, bolsters, blankets, eye shades, a chair. Especially today, we're going to be seated for quite some time. So you might want to bring a chair. Support precedes action is our first guiding principle. And so we want to make sure that we have whatever support we need. Let us start by finding support. So bring yourself into a posture of support, whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like for you, whatever form that takes for you. And root into that posture. So find whatever part of your body that is in contact with the floor, the mat, the chair, the bolster, the seat, whatever part of your body is touching something. Feel the sensation of that connection and bring your awareness to that sensation of connection as support. Feel into the truth of being supported in this moment. What is it like to be supported in this moment? And then imagining you could extend roots through those places of connection down into the center of the earth, anchoring and securing you in that space. Extend the roots down and then lengthen through the side body, lengthen through the crown, lengthen through the spine. Tuck the chin slightly, feel the release in the back of the neck, and then feel the full length of the spine from the base to the crown. Notice that as you root down and lengthen up, you may feel the spine align and engage. You may feel the energy body come online. You may feel the heart, chest expand. You may feel the heart open. Maybe not. Maybe just feel whatever you feel. But become aware of what you are experiencing and feeling in your own practice, in your own body. And having established ourselves in support, I invite you to float your hands to your heart on your next inhale in a way that most brings awareness to your heart space. Maybe left hand over the heart, right hand over the left, maybe hands in prayer. Bring your awareness into your heart space and allow to arise in your heart space a sense of gratitude, any one thing for which you are grateful, maybe just the possibility of gratitude. Whatever arises when you open yourself to gratitude in your heart space. See it clearly in your mind's eye. And anchor it. Whatever it is for you, anchor it right there at your heart space. And then having established support, come into the present moment and allow gratitude to arise. I'll invite you, if you choose, to set an intention for your practice this evening. Perhaps a simple intention to just keep your gratitude centered in your heart space. Or to just be in your breath. But whatever your intention, I invite you to state that to yourself. Hear yourself in your mind's ear as you state your intention in a clear and declarative voice, as if it is already done. And then having established support, come into the present moment, allow gratitude to rise and set our intention. I'll invite you now, take a full inhale. And as you exhale, if you choose to make a benediction to seal your intention, I invite you to do so. And release the hands to the knees, turn the palms up, bring the thumb and forefinger together. And then find, if you need to adjust your posture in order to be supported, find that strong, supported, steady seat. We're going to do an activating breath, and then we're going to do some basic spinal movements, and then we're going to move into our meditation. So our activating breath will be a what we call frontal brain cleansing breath, or Kapalabhati. And that is a forceful exhale and inhale through the nostrils. Now, in the breath work in particular, the body is very still. Focus is on the breath in the nostrils. I'm sorry, the awareness is on the breath in the nostrils. The focus is at the brow point if the eyes are closed, or at the tip of the nose if the eyes are narrow. And we don't want to overdo it. The tendency is to overdo this, get real involved in it. All of a sudden, the body is starting to huff. And we're not trying to do that. We're not huffing here. We're breathing in and breathing out, particularly if you are on your menstrual cycle or pregnant. You will just do long, deep inhale, yogic breath, full inhalation into the abdomen, front, back, sides, complete exhale. For those that are not on your menstrual cycle and or pregnant and would like to add a little Bhastrika effect, a little bellows effect, you're going to bring your diaphragm into play. On the exhale, you'll just bring the diaphragm back and down. And on the inhale, the diaphragm will come back out and up. So it's a sort of a pumping in the navel, if you will. But with that pumping, it's not moving the body or not getting fully overamped. It's just supporting the breath. So remember, the diaphragm supports the breath. The breath is the focus here. Now, you can keep your hands on your knees, palms up for inspiration. If you feel you need a little more grounding, turn the palms down so the fingers are down. Maybe you can even touch the ground with your fingers, or your knees or thighs with your fingers. Feel supported, right? You can bring the hands to prayer at the chest, lightly resting on the thumb knuckles. Or, and if you like, bring your hands so that the thumbs are resting lightly at the third eye. So you're going to find your position. And then we're going to begin. We're just going to be here for a short bit. So we're just activating ourselves. What do I do here? Okay. We're just going to be here for a moment or two so we get organized. So find your posture. Bring your hands to the position that most effectively supports your practice, remembering that it's your practice. I need to stress and remind you that this is your practice. I'm offering and suggesting and inviting some things from here. You do what is right for you. Please listen to the wisdom of your own body. Do what is right for you. Come out of any posture at any time. Take any alternate posture at any time. Support yourself by modifying any posture at any time. And so if you find that this is not working for you, then just back off and find what works for you. Listen to the wisdom of your own body. Okay. Bring your hands to the position that you feel is appropriate for you in this posture. Take a full inhalation. And then begin. Full inhale, complete exhale. Your rhythm, find the rhythm of your own breath. Your pace, find the pace that works right for you in your practice. Your breath, your practice. Adding or not the use of the diaphragm to support the breath, remembering that the diaphragm is simply supporting the breath. The breath comes in and out through the nostrils. Body is very still. Awareness is on the breath in the nostrils. And the focus is at the brow point or at the tip of the nose if your eyes are narrow. If you're uncomfortable closing your eyes, just narrow your gaze to the tip of your nose. Something not moving just beyond the tip of your nose. Remembering that focus is what drives balance. Continuing to breathe here. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. About 30 more seconds. Just stay with your rhythm. Just breathing in and breathing out. On your next inhale, take a full inhalation. Gently retain this breath. Lift gently at the base of the spine, at the pelvic bowl, and at the heart. Be very still. Relax the shoulders, tuck the chin. When you feel a need to, go ahead and exhale, release the hands down, bring the hands to the knees. Sit very still. Let everything settle. We balance our effort with ease. In yoga, we call that sthira and sukha, effort and ease. We balance our effort with ease. We're working to achieve balance in our lives, in our practice, in our bodies, in our minds, in our souls, in our mind states. Be still and notice what, if anything, has shifted for you, with just a little bit of awareness in the breath. Now we're going to do a couple of simple movements here while seated, just to release the back and activate the spine. The first movement is just a simple rotation of the upper body in the fixed hips. So as you inhale, hands come to the knees. As you inhale, just bring your body forward, either direction, doesn't matter. We're going to go both ways. As you exhale, take your body back in a circle. Now, it can be as narrow or as wide as is right for you, but the point is to align with the breath. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. So you're going to be moving at a pace that mimics your breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. Either direction, we're going to go both ways here, just kind of moving. So this is just moving against the fixed hip girdle. The spine is sort of rotating. One of my first teachers called this butter asana, butter posture, because it reminded her of what old butter churn in the American prairie days. You had these wooden churns, which was just a container, a cylinder in which you put the milk and salt and things that you churned with a big stick and kind of brought it into a solid, solidified, known as butter. Anyway, butter asana. I still remember that these days. And then one more in this direction. And then come still, and then begin moving in the opposite direction. And notice that as you do, it may be different one side to the other. Our organs are not fully balanced nor symmetrical within our body. And so we may have very different experience moving one way versus the other, the way that we're bringing movement into those internal organs, the muscles and connective tissue and tendons and ligaments that support us in this movement. We're just moving with our breath, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And maybe this feels good in your lower back. It doesn't mind. I'm just breathing here. Just like in our breath exercise, we're really just breathing. It's all about the breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. Just align the movement with the breath. You might be moving, your pace might be much slower than mine, might be much quicker. It doesn't matter. You may be more wide or more narrow. One more in this direction. And then come back to neutral. Inhale and gently retain the breath. And then exhale. Just be still for a moment. Let everything settle. Give yourself a chance to integrate between each series of movements. Just take a couple breaths at very still body and take a couple breaths in and just let everything kind of reacclimate to being still. Be very settled in your practice. And then notice how your stillness might be different after each practice, after each dynamic movement, after each effort. Make it a different quality of stillness. Now, if you're sitting cross-legged, you want to bring your hands to your ankles or outside your shins. If you're in a chair with your feet underneath you, just bring your hands to your knees. And This movement is a seated cow-cat. So on the cow, the inhale, the diaphragm expands, the heart comes forward, the crown lifts, and the lower spine will arch maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, depends on the level of flexibility in your spine. And then on the exhale, the diaphragm goes back and down. We round, the chin drops to the chest, the hips roll under. So we're making that sort of rounding in the back. So maybe just a subtle little movement, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And again, you find your rhythm, your pace. So maybe you're going quicker or slower than me. It depends on the breath. Again, the length of your inhale will define how long it takes you to do the expansion movement. The length of your exhale will define how long it takes you to do the rounding. So arching, rounding, your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. We're just working the spine here now. Feel into that arching in the spine. Maybe you're breathing directly into one of the vertebrae in the spine. You can actually feel that connection. Maybe you can move that breath up and down the spine, one vertebra at a time. Maybe not. Maybe none of that makes any sense. It doesn't matter. You're just breathing here. Movement with breath, simple movement with breath, identifying our breath, being in the breath. Now, if you're seated cross-legged, you want to take your hands out to your knees. That will open up the middle part of your back a little bit, and you begin to feel the arch move maybe a little higher, maybe not. Heart comes forward on the inhale. Spine arches on the inhale. We round on the exhale. Maybe it starts to feel like you want to move a little quicker, maybe not. Maybe you're just nice and easy. All of this is about just remembering to be in your breath. Focus on the breath, and the movement moves with the breath. A couple more here. On your next inhale, gently retain the breath while lifting gently at the base of the spine, the pelvic bowl, and the heart. Relax the shoulders, tuck the chin, feel everything come center and towards the crown, towards the third eye, towards the space behind the brow, between the ears. Be very still here. No stress, no strain, no tension. When you feel you need to exhale, just go ahead and do so. As you exhale, release any lifting, any holding. Be very still. Just sit. Give yourself a chance to integrate and feel into your experience here. Again, just being present with yourself in your practice. You're in the privacy of your space by design. Just be in your own practice. Feel into your own body, how the connection of your awareness to your breath and your breath to your body can bring you to stillness. Maybe as you recognize that stillness, you begin to feel your mind quiet also. It's all about regulating our mind states, building resilience, using our practices to support ourselves in recovery, in resilience, and in realization. Our next movement is going to be a twisting. And so you can keep the hands on the knees. You can allow the hands to just float at just above the thighs. Or if you're like me, I like to lock in. So fold your elbows, bring your four fingers in front of the shoulder, put the thumb behind the shoulder, just kind of hook that thumb behind there. And then we're going to inhale as we twist to the left and exhale as we twist to the right. Very simple movement. And again, your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Just twisting. And so you'll feel this sort of opening up through the shoulder girdle, perhaps, and maybe just feeling like the obliques and the lats and transverse, all feeling a little bit of freedom here. And again, as you move into this, you may feel like as you begin to open. Now, again, we're not straining, we're not stressing, we're not trying to over rotate, we're just moving with breath. Inhaling left, exhaling right. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Few more here. On your next inhale, come back to center. Gently retain the breath. Gently lift at the base of the spine, the pelvic bowl, and at the heart. Relax. Even though your arms are up, you can relax the shoulders and tuck the chin. Feel everything coming. Be very still and relaxed, gentle. And when you are ready, you start to feel a little pressure, a little tension, or just feel like you need to, go ahead and exhale, release the hands down, palms up, thumb and forefinger together, breathe deep. And then release and just settle in. Be still. Just allow the breath to come and go as it is right for you. Allowing everything to settle and then just noticing what and where you feel, how you feel. Just being with yourself. We have two more here while we're seated. If you need to adjust your seat a little bit, that's fine. Do so. Modify as you need to feel supported. Our next movement is a simple shoulder shrug. So the hands will come to the thighs, to the knees, to the maybe up into the hip crease, depending upon your torso and where it feels appropriate for you, so that you can feel your shoulders relax. And we're simply going to lift the shoulders toward the ears on the inhale. Now, the tendency sometimes is to scrunch in the neck. We don't want that. We're just lifting the shoulders. It's a simple movement, inhaling up and exhaling down. We're just going to do that a few times here. Find your posture, lengthen through the spine. Find your arm position that allows your shoulders to move freely. And then just inhale, lift the shoulders toward the ears. Exhale, release. And again, your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Not overthinking it, not overdoing it. So the idea here is to relax in the neck if you can, which is, I like to feel my shoulder blades are moving up and down my spine, sort of. But whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling. And we're just lifting the shoulders on the inhale and releasing them on the exhale. And again, if you start to feel like you can increase your pace, that's fine, but we don't want to overdo it. We're just breathing. We're aligning the movement with the breath. You more here? On your next inhale, lift the shoulders. Now, be gentle, hold the breath, gently retain, don't hold, just retain the breath while lifting at the base of the spine, the pelvic bone line. Now, even though your shoulders are lifted toward your ears, maybe you feel like you can just relax them as you tuck your chin so that you feel everything lifting. Energy setting at the heart or the throat or at the brain, at the skull level. Just being very still here. And then when you're ready, go ahead and exhale. Release your hands to your knees. Release any holding and clenching. And then let the chin drop to the chest. We're going to do gentle. The key word is gentle. Now, if you have any neck challenges or issues, don't do the tech rolls. Just do a simple side to side with the head, as if you're saying no to your teenage or anybody. Doesn't have to be your teenager. Okay. Now, if you're comfortable doing so, on the inhale, the ear will move toward the shoulder and the chin will move to the sky. And then on the exhale, the opposite ear will fall to the shoulder and the chin will return to the chest. So that's your movement. Inhaling over and up, exhaling over and down. Just do a couple in each direction. Very gentle. You may hear your neck talking to you. If you're like me, lots of little clicks and all that. And then after your next one completes, go ahead and be neutral for a moment. And then reverse the direction. And just a couple in this direction. And again, inhaling over and up, exhaling over, opposite over and down. Couple more, just a couple. Very gentle on the neck here. The neck is the narrowest part of the body. We want to be very mindful of it. After your next one, let the chin relax on the chin and then lift the chin, relax the shoulders, root down into your sits bones, the pointy bone at the base of the hip girdle. Feel your spine lengthen, be very present. Take a full inhale. And a complete exhale. And then just allow yourself to be for a moment to notice yourself. Notice the effect of these few simple movements. And we're going to move out of our chair and seat and do a dynamic movement as sort of a squat. So as you're ready, gently unfold or bring yourself out of your chair, come to your mat. And we're going to do, I'm going to turn sideways to demonstrate this. And then I'll turn back. So the feet are underneath the hips. And then we're going to turn the toes out at an angle. So maybe I'll face it so you can see this way first, and then I'll turn sideways to you. So if you can, bring the heels together. If not, just bring the heels in the direction of each other. The toes will turn out at angles. Okay. And then you may, if you have a chair, you can utilize a chair for support here. So for a lot of us, we may or may not be, our squat may just be here. The squat is the place where where we're capable of finding that flexibility and movement. So we're just, maybe it's just this deep, maybe it's a little deeper, maybe you all the way down. It's up to, find your squat. And our movements are going to be very simple. If you can squat, you're going to come down into whatever squat is appropriate for you. Okay. Now the hands will come to the chair or to the block or to the floor perhaps, and the fingertips will tent, and we'll put gentle pressure in the fingertips. 30 to 40% of the weight in the fingertips supporting this practice. It's a supported posture. Okay. Finding that balance here, and then it's a simple movement. I'll turn sideways so you can see this a little better than perhaps. So we're in this squatted posture with support. And then our inhale is going to be to straighten the legs, drop the heels, and bring the forehead to the shin. So it's sort of a forward fold. And on the exhale, we come into the squat, straighten the spine, exhale completely. Okay. And we're just going to do a few of these. So you're going to do the number that is right for you. I'm going to do 27. And then inhale up. Exhale, come into a squat. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Doing what is right for you, finding the squat posture that is appropriate for your practice. And the rhythm of your breath will be the pace of your practice. Couple more if you're with me. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, turn the toes back in so that the feet are parallel. Take your pointer and middle finger, wrap them on the inside of your big toe. Take your thumb, wrap it on the outside of your big toe. So you're holding your big toes. Let your forehead fall toward the shins. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, bring it back flat. Exhale, bend the elbows away from your legs and bring your forehead forward into a supported forward fold. Breathe deep into the lower back. Full inhales, complete exhales. Find your forward fold here. Utilizing the gripping on the toes to support you. Maybe lifting the hips, maybe straightening the legs, maybe not. Hinging at the hips. Breathing deep, full inhale. Complete exhale. On your next inhale, release the fingers holding the hand, relax the hands, and then release. On the exhale, let yourself fold. Bend the knees slightly as you inhale, slowly roll up. Keep the chin tucked. Save the shoulders, head and neck for last. As your torso comes up, right, the shoulders will naturally roll up and down. The chin will lift, the crown will go long. Extend through the crown down into the feet. Let the hands extend toward the mat. Find yourself in your mountain pose, standing on your own mat, on your own 2 feet, in your practice. Full inhale, check in with your heart space. Find your gratitude. Find your intention. Full inhale. Complete exhale. As you exhale, shake this out. Pedal your feet. Rock your shoulders, just release. Let everything go. And then come back to your whatever seated posture you would like to be in for your meditation. Find a supported seat. And again, find that supported posture. Feel into the sensation of connection and support. Bring your hands to your knees. Lengthen through your spine. Tuck your chin, relax your shoulders. Come very present. And then if you're comfortable doing so, close your eyes. If not, just narrow your gaze. Again, find something not moving just beyond the tip of your nose and focus there. Allow yourself to come into yourself. Now we find the body and know the body through the breath. The body always lives in the present moment. And we come into that body by coming into the breath. So bring your awareness to your breath. Notice that your breath will appear underneath your nostrils just when it is needed. And notice also that you don't have to take the breath. You don't have to go to the breath with any sort of demanding hunger. You can just allow the breath to come in. The breath will come in automatically on its own. You can experiment with this if you like by just simply trying not to breathe. And at some point, you will open your mouth and your nose, and the breath will come in all on its own, of its own volition. And so if we just allow that to occur, that process to occur, then we can become grateful for the fact that the breath always seems to appear right when it is needed. So we recognize that our primary need, which is the breath, is being met. Then we bring our awareness to the process of breathing. We feel into the sensation of the breath coming in through the nasal passages, down into the body cavity, front, back, and sides, full 360 breath without stress, strain, or exertion. And then we notice there's a subtle turnaround, and then all of a sudden the pressure changes, and now we are exhaling. The torso will have some subtle changes as the lungs deflate, and the sensation of the breath in the nasal passages will be slightly different on the exhale as the breath is moving out instead of in. And our task for the moment is just to be aware of that process, to feel the sensation of the next inhale as it arrives, comes in through the nasal passages, down into the body cavity. And the next exhale as it goes, emptying, completely releasing, letting go of what is no longer needed, what is no longer necessary for us. Breathing in and feeling the wonder of the energy that shows up on the in-breath. That subtle life force that comes in with the inhale, feeling the potentially feels like a sparkle or an imminence. And then on the release, exhaling, letting go of what is basically now waste material to be processed externally to our body. And begin to know what it is like to breathe in this sitting posture. So we begin to know that we're sitting when we're sitting. And we begin to know that we're breathing in when we're breathing in. And we begin to know that we're breathing out when we're breathing out. And begin to feel into the experience of just sitting and breathing. And this knowing creates its own consciousness. And so the awareness on the breath and the experience of breathing allows us to come into a level of concentration where we begin to experience a sense of consciousness. An awareness of ourselves. Beyond the breath practice. We begin to feel the breath as an autonomic process, a process that requires no conscious intervention on our part. The breath comes, the breath goes. And as we align our awareness to the breath coming and the breath going, and we attune to the experience of the breath coming and the breath going, we perhaps feel into the possibility of awakening to some level of awareness beyond ourselves. For many of us, we find that our mind has a tendency to wander, which is okay. It is the nature of the mind to wander. And so we simply notice when the mind has wandered off into a thought process or a memory or a plan for the future. We just simply notice that. And gratefully, and compassionately, we just return the focus of the mind to the breath, knowing that we're sitting when we're sitting, knowing that we're breathing in when we're breathing in, knowing that we're breathing out when we're breathing out. Feeling into what it is like to know just being and breathing. Whatever the experience is, the body may begin to create awarenesses of its own. We simply notice whatever it is and return the focus to the breath. We may find that there are events or experiences external to us that our consciousness becomes aware of, external noises, movements. We just simply notice and then return our awareness to our breath. Knowing that we're sitting, knowing that we're breathing in when we're breathing in, knowing that we're breathing out when we're breathing out. Having established ourselves here in support, brought our awareness to our breath, and engaged with the process of sitting and breathing, we're going to continue to breathe in and breathe out in silence for the next minute. On your next inhale, I invite you to bring your hands to prayer at your chest, resting your thumbs lightly on your breastbone. And once again, bring your awareness to your heart space. and allow to arise a sense of gratitude. Any one thing for which you're grateful, maybe just the possibility of gratitude. Maybe you still have your gratitude anchored there and it hasn't changed. Maybe something new has come up. Whatever arises for you when you allow gratitude at this moment, see it clearly in your mind's eye. And then I'd like you to I invite you to bring your awareness to the crown of your head, the space just outside and above the top of your head, about 2 inches above the top of your head. And then from that space at the crown of your head, become aware of the entirety of your being in your space. See yourself sitting in your space, gratitude anchored in your heart space. And as you observe yourself in gratitude in your space, I'll take this opportunity to extend my sense of gratitude to you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your practice with me. I'm honored to be here, truly. And I invite and encourage you to stay here in grateful rest for as long as you like. And when you do rise, please take your gratitude and the echoes of your practice with you as you go through the remainder of your day, lifting yourself and all that you come into contact with. Have an amazing day.